guys, this is Tamus. Hello. This is my review for Transformers Prime Episode 8 Thrust. So, I'm just gonna start right in on it. Since my phone has cut me off multiple times now, I just want to get this done. Plus, I really want to kind of rant a little bit. So, Knockout and Starscream are in his lab, and they still have Silas in Knockout's body and stuff. If you have seen the episode where that happens, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm sorry. This is for Thrust, Episode 8 of Season 3. I'm sorry. This isn't the review for that. So, basically, and excuse my fan, it's hot. So they're in here, and Knockout is pretty much torturing him at the same time as testing stuff. Now, he's mainly also torturing because of how Silas had a breakdown. Sorry, had breakdown, and, was trying to pull him apart, sort of. So, basically, what Knockout is doing is he's testing the synthetic, he's recreating, hold on. Okay, sorry about that, I thought I heard something. So, he's testing he's recreated / recreating the synthetic energon that they got from the Autobots. And so he's testing it on Silas. Okay, so I may have not done reviews for these past 2 seasons, but I'm doing it now, and plus back then I didn't have a YouTube channel, so, but that was faster, stronger, faster, stronger, and that was when Ratchet got the formula for synthetic energon, and then, had started testing it on himself, and it kind of went south, making him more arrogant, more impulsive, pretty much douchey by human-like standards. And so, at the end of that episode, when he got shot or stabbed, I think it was stabbed though, and, Knockout was there, and the green of the synthetic energon, the blue of the synthetic energon kind of bleeds out, and the green subsides from his, eyes, and Knockout gets a sample of it from him, but then Ratchet, before, when he still has, when he still has strength, he gets up and is able to get the sample of the fake sort of energon substitute, synthetic energon, my bad, and smashes it. So it's like this little teeny tiny puddle on the floor. And then when the other bots came to get Ratchet, Knockout was the one who fled. Knockout was the one that retreated, and so they kind of somewhat gained control of that. I don't know if they just abandoned it because they didn't need it or something, but because they don't really show any backstory on that. But if Knockout was the one who just ran away like a wuss, how did he get the little teeny tiny bit of petal that was on the floor that was synthetic energon for him to go and recreate it? There's no way he could have done that unless the Autobots left, which they most likely did. But it's just like, you got him on the run. Why not just stay and gain control of it since it's an energon mine? And clearly they needed energon. And so, plus it didn't really show much backstory on that, so I can't say for certain. But how did he get it in the first place? That's the first thing. Next, Starscream, you're a freaking idiot. If using the Dark Energon would let the Megatron be able to control him, Silas, that is now enraged from the synthetic energon, much like how Ratchet was, but that happens to the peaks of anger and recklessness and douchiness and arrogance just instantaneously. And so, if Starscream's an idiot. If using the Dark Energon will let Megatron control him, one, how did he not realize that Megatron would not sense it, him being able to control the Dark Energon? Secondly, if the the synthetic energon is draining his his actual energon reserves, and so then he has no energy, basically energon, wouldn't that kill him? And then with the Dark Energon, why wouldn't they know that he would, die from lack of energy, like most beings of any sort of mechanical or organic would need? And then because of how dark is it in here? Okay, sorry. I'm just checking because it's gotten really dark in my room now. How would they not know that would happen? And how would they not know that Megatron wouldn't sense it? So why not go mention this to him? And so then, it wouldn't probably be as bad as an outcome for especially Starscream, who once again is back to the abuse from Megatron. Remember in, what was it, the 3rd episode of Season 1? Was it that one? I'm pretty sure it was that one. For having Starscream, go and capture Agent Fowler and, all that, and setting Megatron back in his plan, and then him, beating him up for those first few episodes, too. So, yeah, back to that. So yeah, zombies. Okay, I have to say, this is my favorite part of the episode right here. Knockout and Starscream are realizing, hey, this is spreading a lot faster than we realized, especially since at first we didn't know it would spread anyway. And, sorry if it's super dark in here. That probably helps not at all. And so they're sitting there in the room, and Knockout says, after fighting the Autobots for so long, getting bashed in, shot at, blown up, and this is how our lights go out? I had to pause it. I started laughing my butt off. Because if you think about it, back in the first season, this is like episode 6, Scrap Heap, name of the episode, when RC and Optimus get stranded in the Arctic because of the scraplets, chewing everything apart, including comlinks and ground bridge stuff and all that. That is exactly, I may not have said it word for word, but in the episode, Knockout says exactly what RC says in the 6th episode of the first season, Scrap Heap, when her and Optimus were stranded in the Arctic and they were about to freeze to death. He said exactly the same thing as what she said in that moment of the past episode. I was like, oh my god. And just the way he finished, the way, Knockout said it, just the way he finished it, like with the tone of his voice, it sounded like he was saying it sarcastically. It was just so funny. He was like, full circle! And then, just the way that conversation built, went from that point on was just freaking hilarious. You got Starscream saying, if this is indeed the end, it has been an honor serving Megatron with you. Although, well, yeah, he says, it's an honor working for Megatron. That kind of caught me by surprise that he said that, but okay. But then he said, Megatron with you, so I guess it doesn't matter. And as he's saying it, you got the dramatic, slow but not so slow zoom in on his face. And then it switches camera angle to Knockout, and he's like, well, you're no breakdown, but... crap, what did he say? I watched this like an hour ago because my phone kept cutting me off. He says, well, you may not be a breakdown. Oh yeah, but I do find your, I wouldn't say creativeness, I'd say something like boldness or deceivingness, that sort of thing. Impercolating or something. I think that was the word that he said, impercolating. I find this hat very percolating. I suppose in context that would work. And you got the dramatic, slow but not so slow zoom on him. And then switches camera angles again, way zoomed up to Starscream's face. And his face is just freaking hilarious. It looks like you got gay Cybertronian love going on. So, Starscream's, got the one eye squinted, the other eye open a bit. You got the eyebrows kind of, one lifted up more than the other kind of look. And then you got the half smile, and he's just like, thanks for the compliment, dude. And then they're both sitting there on one knee, shoulder to shoulder, and it zooms out in front of them. And then they're just sitting there, and then they're all acting all awkward. And they're just like, hand on chin, thinking about what the heck to do next. That was funny. And so they go back out and run into Megatron, and Megatron's like, hey! I sensed a disturbance in the dark energon. And I kind of made a pun reference just then, in case you caught that from Star Wars. Disturbance in the Force. Disturbance in the dark energon pulse flowing through my veins of Cybertronian robotness. And so, this is funny too. They're like, oh, nothing's wrong at all, everything's perfectly fine, and they're nonchalant non-obvious casual, but completely obvious of non-casual, some is up crap. And, Megatron points out stuff like, what is going on? And then so Starscream's like, let me handle this. Pause. It was Knockout's fault! Like, the moment he has all of the attention, he's like, it was Knockout's fault! I want no attention on this! It's his fault. And then Knockout's just like, that is exactly my what? Delayed reaction crap. Like, first he's expecting for Starscream to actually say something, actually not just throwing it all at him, and then he's like, precisely, Lord. What? I am so loud right now. It's that whole thing, like, it's Knockout's fault! Exactly my... What? No, it's not. It's your fault. And so then they're sent to it. Oh, another important part. I actually thought that they were going to bring Arachnid back. I guess they kind of did. So, now you have Silas that is zombified, going around, biting, sucking all of the energon out of anything he can find. Well, any bot, or actually any con more specifically. Since the synthetic energon was, draining him of his inner energon reserves, and with him now being undead because of the dark energon infused with that, is, literally taking our zombies and plopping them into their episode in Cybertronian form, basically. And so he's going along, he's bitten like 20 freaking pawn-like guys, and other troops, and cons and stuff. And so he comes up, and I don't know if this is like sense in the Force, or just if he smells it or something. But then he goes in the room where Arachnid, Black Arachnia, is still in her stasis pod from like when the Insecticons were in. And since, he's trying to get Energon, he tears open the pod. Okay, my dad's home. And so he rips open the pod and it wakes her out of stasis. And so she's still kind of trapped with the back of the pod still there. Hold on. Okay, I was seeing if he's gonna come in my room or not. How long has this been? 18. Holy crap, I gotta wrap it up. It's okay, I'm almost done. And so he tries to bite her, and she, still being a little woozy from being in stasis for that freaking long, he pins her up against the wall, and it's like his pincher or whatever of biting comes up to her neck, and then it switches to his back, so you don't see if he bites her or not. And then she gets away and, kills them again. And then she calls for the Insecticons because she's still got that, she can control them. Since I guess she's part of Insect too, being Spider, sort of, and all. So they come to her aid, no longer under Soundwave's control, since he's directing them to go and kill all the infected, now that Megatron knows. And so she's commanding the Insecticons to kill every Decepticon, and then she runs into Shockwave, Soundwave, and he pulls out his bad arsoness, and she's running at him with all her Insecticon, followers and crap, and just opens the portal to one of the moons at Cybertron. And I'd say a good portion of the Insecticons are stuck on the moon, eons away, one of the moons of Cybertron. And she's like, "Arg!" And so they finish up and stuff, and then they get rid of all the infected on the warship. Irritated, I can't freaking remember the name of the warship, but anywho, to continue, wrap this up still. Last thing I'm gonna say, because this is the end of the episode. You got Arachnid on the moon, and she's, up on her rock spot place of high authority-ness. And all her Insecticons are just kind of lined out in front of her in, marching combat form. And she's like, "Come forward, serve your queen." And then it goes to a side shot. And I didn't notice this, because after something else happened that I'm going to say in just a minute. If you go back to that side view and look, she did get bit by Silas before she killed him. She ripped him over to, make sure I'm going to rip out your spark, and see Silas, and he's like, "What? Oh, thank you for getting me out of there." And he's like, "No, thank you. This nightmare is finally freaking over. I'm going to go to sleep forever now." Hi. I'm reviewing.
Did you feed the dogs?
Yes.
Did you get the cord when you got the satellite dish out of the truck?
The small gray cord?
No, it's long and black.
Oh, no, I thought that was something else. Oh, hold on, I have the keys right here. Okay, never mind. Okay, be up shortly. That was random. Anywho,